Hi, everyone. I'm Sunny.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rox. And this is
Literature on the Rocks. Have you seen those shirts of the, it's got like a guy in armor, like a little medieval guy in all metal armor. And it's like, dost thou even hoist?
No,
I kind of want to buy it.
I don't know why putting any sentence in a medieval time verbiage makes it 10 times better.
It's how a lot of our tech messages were in 2025.
Yeah, especially when we complained about work or our journey to work. It was all medievally, and it made it more palpable.
Yeah.
It was very entertaining. I looked forward to reading those medieval messages.
Which I'm not good at it. I really have to take some time to think about it.
And then I put it in chat every time.
I usually end up and then changing it. Like, this is not what I wanted to say. I want to take our medieval conversations that we have on the messages and then put them into chat and be like, translate these.
Reverse translate.
Yeah.
Translated into 2000. What if it comes? I will say, speaking of translating, we got a comment on our Dungeon Crawler YouTube video, the book club.
On the youth, okay.
And I had to look up what the word, what does it mean in this context? Because they were saying it was great. I'm paraphrasing here. And then it said,
amazing. Yes, great.
and then it said subbed. And I was like, the fuck does that mean?
Was it a compliment?
This kid is obviously 23.
What does that mean?
Also,
We're old, but
why
thank you.
are we so old that we don't know what this means?
Subscribe to a topic. Oh!
Oh my God.
Subscribe! Oh, to be almost 40. Fuck! Thank you, young one.
Where's the text message button?
Where's the voice to chat? Grandma, stop sending me texts about chickens.
Hence, she needed to grab her reading glasses this morning.
I have astigmatism in both eyes.
So offended. I have astigmatism.
Bitch! That's not correctable with laser.
That's true. I have one too. Didn't get corrected.
That's the only thing I have is astigmatism, and it hurts my eyes to look at a computer for a long time.
How dare you comment on my disability?
ADA, diversity, inclusion.
You are diversity hire.
Dude, it's really crazy. 40 is the protected age.
I know.
Oh,
so
I know. I'm so close to being able to go off in this bitch and still have a job.
I truly, this is probably, we're going to have a conversation, you guys. I think about this all the time because I feel like once I am in the protected age, I'm probably going to have, if I ever wanted to leave the company I'm at, if I go in an interview, there's gonna be stereotypes and some bias because I'm old.
But you're also not looking for a lower end job. And I feel like people...
Yeah, but I'm in marketing. I'm like, hi, I'm your social media manager. Wait, let me get my readers out. They're gonna be like,
do you even...
What is sub?
No. Do you even know what the market needs these days? Are you familiar with social media? That's going to be the question.
Someone told me, so we have this AI initiative at our office, and I'm like, they wanted us to have someone who was part of the subcommittee, right? And so we were naming people off. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. Like, I'm not someone that another company's going to hire and be like, thank you, please be our AI person. Mm-hmm. But I've got a pretty good handle on it. Then there was a comment like, they're too old. And they were 32. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? 32 is too old for AI, to understand AI. I disagree heavily.
I disagree by at least 6 years.
But then it's like, if I were to leave, I feel like, how old are you? And you're supposed to be knowing AI and marketing and all these new social media platforms.
You're going to have to supplement with some certifications to prove
that, or just be able to speak to it But getting into the door, that's half of the battle.
Yeah.
But I also feel like if you're hiring someone who's a director or someone who's a higher level, they're generally not
25
or even 30 really. They're not.
Yeah. I mean, luckily, I don't plan on leaving, but it is something I better know. This is where I want to be because
the fight to get there is going to be rough.
Yeah.
And you're a woman, and on top of all the other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot against us. The older I get, the more it piles on.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get into this book.
Yeah, we are book summarizing The Wedding People by Alison Espach.
Yeah. We are.
All right, I'll give you a little bit of an author bio here.
Yes.
Alison Espach is an American novelist and professor of creative writing at Providence College in Rhode Island, known for her emotional, humor-tinged stories about identity, connection, and the strange, winding ways life reroutes us. She is the author of 3 novels, The Adults, that came out in 2011, Notes on Your Sudden Disappearance, that came out in 2022, and The Wedding People, that came out in 2024. Critics have repeatedly praised her ability to capture both comedy and heartbreak in the same breath. Allison grew up in Trumbull, Connecticut, earned her BA from Providence College and her MFA in creative writing from Washington University in St. Louis, where she transformed her thesis into her debut novel, The Adult.
That's awesome.
Cheating? Oh.
No, not cheating, but that's awesome.
Like she did something with her thesis, not just like let it die over here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not really for master's, but in PhD level, your last work, your dissertation gets published. But this is cool that she turned her thesis and stuff that she was developing into something that she can profit
Become
from.
published.
Yes.
Yeah. The Wedding People became a New York Times bestseller and was acquired for film adaptation before publication. Allison has explained that the inspiration for The Wedding People came from her own experiences working at weddings and observing the way the strangers, free from everyday ties and expectations, often speak more honestly than friends or family. She wanted to explore grief and human connection in a setting that's normally associated with celebration, using humor to illuminate some of life's heaviest moments. Today, she continues to write, teach, and explore the messy complexities of modern life and relationships in both fiction and essays. All right, so the book summary. So Phoebe Stone checks into the Cornwall Inn in Newport, Rhode Island, with intentions to commit suicide. She chooses the hotel because it feels anonymous, distant from her real world, and removed from the wreckage of her marriage and career. But when she arrives, she discovers the hotel has been completely taken over by a glamorous, high-end wedding, and she's quickly noticed by the bride, Lila, who is magnetic, chaotic, and deeply invested in the perfection of her wedding week. What unfolds is a story about an unexpected connection. Over the course of the wedding festivities, Phoebe finds herself drawn into conversation, confrontation, and moments of intimacy she never intended to have. The novel becomes a sharp, dark, funny exploration of loneliness, performance, female friendship, and what it means to choose to keep living, especially when you didn't think you wanted to.
That was a good summary.
Yay, thank you.
It was. Now let's talk about this cocktail.
Oh, yeah. I was all ready to dive into the chunks.
I'm ready to dive into this beverage.
Yeah, it does look really good.
We'll probably talk about it a little bit more, but in the book, the wedding people all drink what they call vacation in a cup. Now, there's not a recipe for this vacation in a cup.
Yeah.
There are a lot of iterations online of what this drink recipe is, but we have litified it. And so this is the vacation in a cup lit style. 1.5 ounces white rum, 1.5 ounces of Malibu, a 1/2 ounce blue curacao, 2 ounces pineapple juice, a 1/2 ounce lime juice, and a splash of grenadine. Because if my vacation is in a cup, it's obviously strong and beachy.
It's really pretty.
It is.
One of the cutest ones. And we garnished with a little pineapple wedge.
Yeah,
So cute.
So
Cheers.
cute.
Cheers.
That's delicious.
It is.
It's delightful.
That is really good. It's probably my favorite one of the year.
It's nice and tropical. It tastes like a vacation in the cup.
It really does.
Oh yeah, put me on a beach somewhere. Run me down with sunscreen.
A yacht.
Oh, and
A
then
yacht.
Catamaran.
drinking it, like sucking the alcohol off of the pineapple. It was really good.
I popped.
Pop my pineapple just like this.
I popped my pineapple in my
Beverage.
Yes.
I did as well. So at the
At
end,
the end, I'll be able to have an alcohol-infused pineapple.
After I stirred it with the pineapple wedge, I took a little taster. So delicious. And then I dropped it in. So I can't wait to eat the pineapple wedge.
This is how to drink a tropical beverage with literature on the rocks. Thank you. Okay, so my chumps start with Tuesday, the opening reception, chapters 1 through 5. Immediately, you kind of find out this is a week-long wedding.
which is wild.
And she's like, that's normal these days. Everyone has a week-long wedding. I'm like, who does? Not me. I'm
She spent like $1 million on this wedding.
lot
That was
of
the
money.
goal.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of money on this wedding. So Phoebe Stone is basically the main character that we have the point of view from the whole book.
Well,
She-
it's like a third person
yeah,
point of view, but
it's like her story.
Yes.
It's not the
She's-
wedding people's story. It's
Right.
Phoebe Stone's story.
yes.
She arrives at the Cornwall Inn in Newport, Rhode Island, for an impulsive, suitcaseless vacation. She's dressed in this like formal green, emerald green dress. She is reeling from her divorce, failed IVF cycles, and the COVID-19 lockdown. She's deeply depressed and no longer wants to work as a Victorian literature professor. She's like definitely feeling some type of way, and she's gonna go and have this fabulous vacation, is what you think.
I think she was
when you
only
first start.
supposed to be there for one night, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So she learns when she gets there that the inn is fully booked for a week-long wedding for Lila Rossi Winthrop and Gary.
I love that they never say his like last name. It's just like, this esteemed girl and Gary.
And I pictured Gary from SpongeBob. She's marrying a snail.
While she's waiting behind these two bridesmaids, like she could tell these people are part of a wedding, and she's waiting behind them. She nicknames them High Bun and Neck Pillow because one of them's still wearing a neck pillow from the airport. Lila appears with like this gift basket, and she just starts handing out like, welcome to the wedding week. And she gives one to Phoebe, not realizing that she's not there for the wedding.
Because she thinks she bought out the whole hotel.
I paid for the whole hotel. This is...
You have to be here for me.
Yes. And so before Phoebe can even correct her, Pauline, the receptionist, checks her in and is surprised that she isn't a part of the wedding. She didn't correct Lila because she didn't necessarily get the chance to, but she's like, whatever, I got this little gift basket. I'm going to enjoy it. But yeah, no, I'm not part of the wedding. So Phoebe is assigned to the Roaring 20s because in this hotel, every room has like this theme. Lila forces herself into the elevator. Phoebe gets into the elevator. She doesn't want Lila to get in. She like pushes the button to close the door, and Lila stops it, but because it's this older hotel, it like doesn't stop and it closes on her hand. So she like pushes it open, and they get it open, and she comes in. She's got this injured hand, and she starts to make small talk with Phoebe. Phoebe admits, because what does she have to lose? This is a stranger. Let's just be honest here. I'm not a guest, and I intend to die by suicide tonight. Like
I won't be here. I won't be here for your wedding. Don't worry about me. I'll be out of your hair.
Yes.
Yeah, I came here to unalive myself. So Lila protests that she can't die during her wedding. Like, you can't do that. It's my wedding week. And she has this full-on meltdown, which I thought was kind of hilarious and really selfish. I mean,
Instead of going, oh, like
Are you okay?
you're in a place where you feel like you don't want to be here. Like, let's talk about that a little bit because you should be here. No, it's...
Do you know how much I paid for this?
Yes.
Yeah, it starts off like, surely you have someone who loves you. Like, someone would miss you if you did that. And she's like, no, not really. And she's like, well, then you can't do it. It's my wedding week.
There's gonna be a spectacle tomorrow.
You're gonna ruin everything for me.
Yeah.
Not like, I don't want you to do that. But like, I don't want you to do that because what would people think of me?
You're going to overshadow my wedding, and it's going to be known as the suicide wedding.
Yes. The elevator opens, and she sees her friends, High Bun and Neck Pillow, pull Lila away, and Phoebe slips to her room to drink this German chocolate wine that she got from the basket that Lila handed out. And she even said something about like, I know it sounds weird, but it's better than it sounds. And when she drinks it,
And
she's
it's
like,
super
it is.
expensive, so
Yeah.
enjoy it.
She's like, oh, it is kind of nice, actually. So then we flash back 2 years, and it's showing all of Phoebe's struggles before her divorce. She's married to Matt, and she's recovering from a miscarriage. She plans this Cornwall vacation because they're like, we need to get out of here and do something different. She's like, look what I found. And then Matt's like, I prefer a cheaper trip. So she agrees, but she also feels defeated. Like, I planned this whole trip because you wanted to do something nicer. And look at what I found. I saw this place in a magazine. Like, look how beautiful it looks. And he's like, do we really want to do that? And she's like, no, I guess not. She's very meek
Yes.
in this marriage.
And she also made like a pros and cons list about like all of the fun things that they could do around like the Newport area. And he was like, you had to make a list to have fun. She was like, yes.
So she agrees, but she feels defeated. She's weighed down by depression and her disappointment in her adjunct career and lack of publication. So she's like,
Because she's not on a tenured professor track.
and they're like, you need to write your book. You have a book that you wanted to write it. And she like pretends that she's writing it here and there, but she never actually finishes it. And now she's been in this career for years and years and years. She's never written the book, and her boss keeps asking her about it and how it's going. And her husband is asking her about it, and she doesn't care about it. So she sends Matt a flirty sext because he's like, I'm going to go out drinking with some friends, whatever. Very aggressive in her sext. It's like, she's like, when you come home, I want you to fuck me or something like.
She says, make me come. But then she was like, do I spell it C-U-M?
Oh, yes,
Or do I
yes.
spell it C-O-M-E?
Yes. Yeah, so she's definitely trying to be forward and flirty, and he never responds. And then he returns home. Instead, he celebrates a career award, and not with any of the sexy stuff, just...
He's like, I'm getting an award finally. How exciting for me.
So he later apologizes after seeing the message, but Phoebe wishes he were more passionate and fantasizes about like rough sex and talks to her cat, Harry.
But she wants to be like choked out. She wants all of the
She definitely throughout the book has some dark thoughts. Not
fantasies.
just like...
No, yeah,
like,
dark fantasies for sure.
dark fantasies, but then even some that are like unhealthy, I would say. Not just because of her, where she's
state of
at
mind
mentally. Yeah, her
mentally.
Yes.
state of mind. Phoebe impulsively buys an expensive emerald dress for Matt's ceremony because she wears the same black dress or whatever every time. So she buys this really pretty dress for the ceremony, but she decides it ends up being too flashy, and she wears the usual black Calvin Klein dress. At the event, she feels overshadowed by Matt's success and grows suspicious of his interactions with Mia, a former friend who recently became a mother. And with all of her like troubles of having a child herself, she feels like this is something that Matt wants. Now there's
And that's
this
why he's
baby.
attracted to
yes.
her.
Yeah. But also, it's hard going through infertility and even having close friends say, like, even though you're happy for them to be like, I'm pregnant, you're like, I don't want to fucking hear about it.
Yeah.
So I understand her. Like, we used to be close, but she probably pushed her away because she was dealing with some shit.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. The early COVID-19 lockdown worsens Phoebe's depression. One night after dinner, Matt packs a bag and reveals that he's in love with Mia. So she has like these suspicions during this night. She even asks questions like, so Mia, what do you think about her? And
Mia's just so pretty.
and
Like,
he's like, yeah, sure,
Just
whatever.
these like leading questions. She's
Yeah.
expecting the answers to be what she thinks they are.
Yes.
And why torture yourself like that, honestly?
Yeah, but one day he comes home and he's like, yeah, you were right this whole time. Like,
But you're
I'm in love
asking-
with her, not just...
But you're asking because you already have these suspicion. You just want him to confirm, and he was going to do it eventually. So just
She's
let
like
the man do
tiptoeing
it.
about the issue.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I'd be like, who the hell is Mia?
Yeah.
I mean, I know her because we're friends, but
Why the fuck do you know her?
yeah, why are you being so chummy?
Yeah.
Now we're back in the present, and Phoebe wants to see the ocean and eat a decadent meal before dying. She tries to order room service, and they're like, I'm sorry, the inn is understaffed, and all guests are supposed to be attending this wedding, so we don't have room service available, but there is at the reception here downstairs. Like, there is
The
food.
welcome reception.
Yeah.
Come on down.
Yeah. Unable to face the celebration, she sits on the beach and thinks about recent events. Matt moved in with Mia and helps with her baby. Phoebe lost her office and relocated to the faculty lounge. Like, it's been a couple years since all this happened now.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
like 2.
Well, because COVID lockdown, they were teaching
And he had already
on
moved out.
Zoom shortly after COVID lockdown. Like them being alone together, like solidified his like, I need to get the fuck away from
Yeah,
you.
so he's COVID,
But-
he's not there.
Right.
Yeah.
But she decided, like, when everyone was starting to go back to work, she's like, I'm going to stay remote. So they gave away her office. So when she finally is like, everyone needs to come back, she's like, I'm back. And they're like, well, you don't have an office anymore, but sit next to the Xerox machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like this, like, here's our break room. You can be
sit
in
in
this
there.
room closet next
if you
to it.
like.
Yeah.
She goes to work. She dresses in that little black dress because she feels like that was the last time that he had some sort of like told her she was beautiful. So she's kind of fishing. He and Mia like walk in together. They see each other and it's really awkward. He eventually walks out. Mia comes back. And Phoebe confronts her, like, you were supposed to be my friend. And Mia insists the marriage ended long before the affair.
Yeah, you don't know
How do
fucking
you
know
know?
about anything in my
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah, like, if he truly was in love with you this whole time, he would have never come looking for me.
Yeah, he wouldn't
or-
have fallen in love with me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay. What a bitch. And like this was supposed to be her friend. I can't even.
I can't
even
imagine.
An acquaintance. I would feel guilty if something never happened.
Yeah.
Like if anybody
And I
ever
would
close to
never-
me fell in love with my husband,
Oh yeah, no,
Oh.
no, we're not. You're
slicing legs
yeah.
coming off. You're gonna be limbless.
Limbless. You definitely have something
supposed-
wrong with your face once I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Gonna need
You're
some
gonna have a hard time.
reconstructive surgeries.
Gonna have a hard time finding anybody else to love you at this point. So you better take advantage now, girl.
The only person loving you is your nurse because you're limbless.
Nurse.
You need somebody to feed you. You got no limbs.
that machine that's helping you breathe. That's your only lever.
Oh my god.
So Phoebe heads home after she's confronted Mia. She's like, I'm not into this. And she finds her cat Harry has died, which is basically the only thing that she felt she had a purpose for. It was keeping Harry alive. He's died. She just like lays a blanket over him in the basement.
She can't even deal with it.
Yeah, she doesn't even know how to deal with it. She drinks heavily. She wakes up hungover, and she decides she's going to the Cornwall Inn, this beautiful hotel. She's spending all her money, and she's going to do it because she's going to die there.
Yeah, like the room was like $800 a night. So she's like, just going to go. I'm just going to spend it. We're just going to live in the lap of luxury.
I'd spend that now.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely would not.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It'd have to be a very special occasion.
Yeah.
Because most likely I'm not going to be staying there for one night. And
Yeah,
if I'm
exactly.
going to do this and spend $800 for multiple nights.
Yeah. If I had a specific budget, I wouldn't want to waste it on the hotel room.
Yeah, because you spend less time in it.
If I was
It's
going
the amenities that I'm going there for.
Yeah,
Are you though?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I was just having this conversation with my husband because there was this hotel that was probably closer to, it wasn't $800 a night, but it was expensive. But it had like a water park and it had like this beautiful pool. And like, if we were going
The
there,
amenities.
Yeah.
Sure.
If we were going there to just go
Stay
to a
at the
hotel,
hotel.
and stay in a hotel, worth it. But that wasn't the point of our
Yeah.
vacation, right?
That's
we want
what
to
I
go see
mean.
the sights. We want to go. So we're not going to spend a lot of time in this. So actually, I don't want something that's going to make my kid go, why are we leaving the hotel?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
that's
because
fine.
like you're not going to stay in a resort. Like you're going to go see the
Right.
sights of the place that you're visiting,
Yes.
right? Now, if you're going to go stay at the resort, like we're going to Cancun, yeah, I'll spend $800 a night so that I can enjoy all the amenities. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be
Yeah.
staying on this resort.
Plus,
so
it includes so many things.
it better
includes,
have a bunch of shit for me to do. I'm spending $800 a night.
I will say, I do want to stay at the Grand Californian, and that is roughly about $800 a night.
Yeah, but it's connected. Like, there are things that you're basically staying at the hotel the whole time.
Nah, I'll stay at the...
The only reason why I don't is because I live so close to the...
Yeah.
Like, I'm not...
I'll stay at the Marriott down the street, and then I'll drive myself into the park.
Yes, you know.
Phoebe's last day plans unravel. Her meals, she wanted this fabulous meal. It's fallen through. She can hear the people outside. Her music skips because she brought like this record that was something that was a joke and now feels
jazz
like
or something?
and now feels like appropriate.
Jazz
She
for
wants to listen to
lovers or
it.
something like
Yes,
that?
but it doesn't work right. And her cigarette starts making her cough. Like, it's just like everything starts adding up. And her plan was she's going to take all of her cat's medication.
Is pain medicine.
Yeah. And just like fall asleep and die. Like, that's her plan.
Easy peasy.
Yes.
Lemon squeezy.
So she's hearing the wedding festivities below and she starts like watching them. Mm-hmm. And then she's interrupted by Lila barging in and demanding she stop smoking. Lila's got this really big personality. And when I first met her, I was like, she is selfish. She is rude. But as you go on, you do kind of find, I feel like
You soften up to
yes,
Lila.
you soften up
but
to
at
Lila.
first, you're like, because she.
I don't think I did.
Never?
Oh, no.
No.
You never liked her.
No, she was self-entitled the entire time.
Oh, for sure. She was
Yeah, yeah,
self-entitled.
yeah.
And I was irritated
But
by
I feel
it.
like she was going through something. And so I felt more sympathy for her. Like,
For sure she was going through something, but what Phoebe was going through was far more important than her freaking... We'll get into it later.
Okay, okay.
So Lila begs her to postpone her suicide. Phoebe and Lila talk about Lila's life. Her father's name is Henry, and he left her $1 million for the wedding. Before he passed away, it was like his dying wish that she would get married. And Gary is her fiance. It was Henry's doctor because Henry had this
Colon
cancer or something. It was killing him, and they wanted a second opinion. And so Gary was a second opinion and became his doctor, saying, we can make it work. Lila offers to pay for Phoebe's stay if she promises not to die for a week. Like, just please wait.
Because Phoebe tells her, I only have the room for one night. Like, I'm going to do what I got to do.
Don't
You
worry,
guys-
I'll be out of your hair tomorrow.
They'll
Yeah.
wheel me out in the morning, and then you'll never have anything to do with
And they're
it.
going to do everything they can to, like, hide it.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
like, I will just be on my way, and you won't have to worry about it. And she's like, absolutely not. I'll just pay for the week. Do it at the end of the week.
And I think Phoebe even argues, like yells at her and tells her, this has nothing to do with you. This is my life, my room. Get out.
Yes. And she's like, how did you get in here anyways? Because she just barges into her
She
room.
has a
Like, I got a
key,
key.
to
She's like,
all
I
the
got a key.
rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like,
She's like, everybody's here for my wedding, so I have a key to everybody's room. And she's like, well, I'm not.
I think she's, yeah, right? They get into this argument, but Lila, like, almost reacts in a way to the argument, like, I'm surprised, but also I'm not bothered by it. And then Phoebe tells her, you have some food in your teeth, by the way. It's been stuck in your teeth since I saw you this morning. And Lila has this moment like, what? And she's looking for floss. And then she's like, I've been talking to so many people and nobody told me these are supposed to be my best friends. And a stranger had to tell me.
Yeah.
And then she calls downstairs. She's like, I need some floss. And they have to go to like the CVS down the street to get it for her. She's like, yeah, I'll wait. So now the festivities are going on downstairs. And she's sitting there waiting with Phoebe and talking about all the things.
And she like talks fast.
Yes.
And just like word vomits.
Word vomits.
Every
all the
sentence
things.
is a word vomit.
Very much she has nobody to talk to.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so Phoebe is now her ear.
You're a stranger. You're not going to judge me. You're not going to feel any type of way. I mean,
you're
going to
die tonight or at the end of the week. So I'm going to tell you all this shit.
Yeah, let me tell you how I'm feeling. And my mom, and my, Gary and his preteen daughter and his close bond with the best man, Jim, who she feels like is flirting with everyone. He even flirts with me.
And it's weird because Jim is his dead wife's brother. So it's his old brother-in-law. And why are they so close? It's so
why
weird.
do we have to keep talking about her? And
Which bothered me a lot.
yeah.
But anyways.
Yes. We digress.
Yeah. So Lila returns to the reception, leaving Phoebe feeling empty. Phoebe finishes the wine and takes Harry's pain pills. She does listen because she makes a comment. Lila tells her, like, my mom wants to do a toast or speech, and I keep telling her no because all she's going to do is embarrass me. And then while she's sitting up there drinking and about to take these pills, she hears the mom grab the mic and talk about Lila and say all the things that she's like, oof, yeah, that was not a great speech.
And then she kind of like slowly gets invested into like what's happening.
Like they always bring it back around and end on a high note. Like I'm waiting for the high note.
And she's like, oh, the way they met, he was in the art gallery and saw a naked painting of me and wanted it. And that's how they met, right? And it's like, whoa, oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's not great.
She takes Harry's pain pills. And then she worries the dose won't be enough. Phoebe moves to the balcony to hear Patricia's impromptu speech, which is the mom, and she's embarrassing Lila. She starts to increasingly grow drowsier and drowsier, but realizes she doesn't want to die before hearing the end of this speech because it's got to come back around, right? So now she's fighting this exhaustion, and she ends up forcing herself to vomit because she doesn't want to die anymore. She wants to see this play out. Like there's something all of a sudden to live for.
Yes.
And then she ends up falling asleep on the cold bathroom floor.
And then we jump into Wednesday, sailing. Chapters 6 through 11. So Phoebe wakes up at 3 a.m. She's still on the bathroom floor. She brushes her teeth, drinks some water. She undresses from her emerald gown down to her matching underwear because she was like, you have to die in fabulous underwear.
Facts.
She puts on a hotel bathrobe and she heads down to the hot tub. She's like, nobody's going to be out here at 3 a.m. I'm just going to go enjoy it myself. So she stops at the lobby at this bookshelf and she's so annoyed because they're all the books are set up to be aesthetically pleasing. So they're all the page forward. They're not the spice.
Social media popular and boo.
So she flips them around because she's like, these books need to be on display by who they are and what they are. And she flips it over and there's a Shakespeare sonnets and she's like, spine out in rebellion. As she's chilling in the hot tub, a playful man joins her in the hot tub and he's got this big beard. And Phoebe admits, she's like, I'm not here. Like she has been so meek and quiet in her life. And now that she's decided, like, I'm going to live, I'm really going to live. I'm going to tell people my opinion. I'm going to be bold and I'm going to be me.
Why do I care what these strangers think of me?
Right.
They're totally strangers.
I'm only gonna
just
be here
going
for
to
a
do
few
what
days.
I want. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to do what I want. I decided I'm going to live, so I'm going to live for me now. So she's like, yeah, I'm not with the wedding party. And I came here intending to die. And now I don't want to anymore. So I'm here. And he's listening with empathy and shares his own experience with depression.
Some of it's like shocking to him too. He's like, wow, all right.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
But he's like, you shouldn't feel bad. Like, I've had those thoughts too. I'm glad you're still here. And the man's like, he accidentally touches her in the water and it excites Phoebe. And she deadpans this man and was like, want to go to my room and fuck? And he's like, oh.
And she's in her underwear already. So she like stands up and he like, I don't know where to look. And
Yeah.
she's like, I want to fuck you.
And she's like, I find you extraordinarily attractive. She invites him to her room and he's like, I'm not here alone. I'm not single. She's like, I see now.
Which I knew immediately who this man was. Like it was like,
As soon as he said, I'm not single, I was like, this is the fucking groom. It's going to be the fucking groom.
I did not think
As soon as he was in the jacuzzi, the hot tub, I was like, go to bed, mister.
Yeah, right? Like, why are you up at 3 a.m.? You're about to have a wedding week.
Yeah.
So then it flashes back and Phoebe is remembering meeting Matt in grad school, detailing the progress of their relationship. She was offered a position in Wisconsin and was torn about accepting it. She was offered a tenured position. And before she accepted accepts it, Matt proposes. So it's kind of like she left her career to follow Matt into his. And now she's stuck in a job.
Matt's thriving.
Yeah, and she doesn't have anything. She doesn't even have health care or any benefits. They were all because Matt was a tenured professor. So everything that they have is because of his career. And she's just been in a funk ever since.
Yeah, he left her. So now she truly has
Nothing.
of this.
She has a house that she can't afford.
Yes.
So back in the present, Lila bursts into Phoebe's room the next morning. She's like, I knew you'd still be here.
Yeah.
I knew you wouldn't do it.
Yeah. So Phoebe appreciates the distraction. Lila frets over her hat. She's like, I have this cute sailing hat. We're going sailing, but is it too much? Is it not enough? Like, she's just
Like of all the people, she goes into this stranger's
she's
room
super
to start, like,
young too. She's like 23.
Is she that young? I didn't realize she was that young.
She's in her 20s.
She
She's
is,
young.
like sort of not significantly younger than Gary, but there's
She
a
is.
gap.
There's like a 20-year age gap.
No, I don't think it was 20 years.
I don't think it was 20
But
years.
it was.
He's
young.
early 40s. Okay, maybe 15.
I think she was older 20s. I don't remember, but.
She's definitely in her 20s, and he's
Yes.
in his mid 40s,
And I
early
think
to mid
15 is
40s.
right.
Her mom does comment later about how she just loved older men. So there is
Yes.
a gap. We just don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
do
they do
say,
tell us,
yeah.
but she's like, "Oh, Phoebe, come down to breakfast." And she does all this shit for Phoebe because she is used to being wealthy. She's a Rossi Winthrop. So she's like, calls the front desk and she's like, send this dress to get laundered. And she's like, oh, and come with us sailing today. And she's like, well, you're sending my one clothing item to the laundry. I don't have anything to wear. So she borrows some clothes for her. And Lila,
From her mom.
yeah. And it says like sequins on it. And she's like, old Phoebe never wore sequins. Maybe new Phoebe wears sequins.
Yes.
She's like, I need to find out about myself now. So Lila takes Phoebe downstairs.
I just found it. It's 12 years. They're roughly 12 years apart.
12 years apart. Lila introduces Phoebe to her friends and family. High Bun and Neck Pillow are revealed to be Susan, and Natalie. Phoebe meets Gary's 11-year-old daughter, Mel, who she wants to be called Juice.
Which is.
You find out it's actually an endearing name why she wants
Yeah,
it.
but it just sounds weird of it like Juice.
At first,
But
yeah.
it's clear that there's a disconnect between the girl and Lila because Lila's like, this is Mel. And she's like, I want to be called Juice.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, fuck.
She's like, I don't understand why you want to be called Juice.
And
Yeah.
she's like, well, that's what I want to be called, so call me Juice. Like,
Yeah.
there's definitely some tension.
Both of them are.
bickering because
Yeah.
they're also, I think they're closer in age than her and
Yeah.
her fiance. So then there's Marla, Gary's sister, who appears irritated right away. She's always irritated. Lila lies about how she knows Phoebe, claiming they met at the art gallery. She's like, I'm not going to tell everyone that you're the suicidal girl in the hotel that shouldn't be here. So Phoebe offers to drive because they're like, oh, the car that we've rented is manual. And
Yeah.
they all kind of look at each other.
She's like, why would you get me a manual car? Nobody knows how to drive it.
But she also wanted a classic vintage car. Like, what is...
you can't have both.
Just dumb. It's just young dumbness.
Yes.
So using Marla's phone for directions, there's some spicy text that comes in from this man named Mark. So while they're in Phoebe's room the night before, she's talking about all the people at her wedding, and she brings up Marla. She's like, Gary's sister is such a bitch. Like, she clearly doesn't like me, and she cheated on her husband. Like, she's
With a
just
judge or-
with
yeah.
another judge. What a horrible person. So Phoebe doesn't know who Robert is. It's just like, I can't wait to fuck you and all this nasty shit. And she's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she's
I wonder
using
if
it
this
for,
is
like-
the judge.
Because she doesn't have a phone. She's gotten rid of the phone because, like, I don't need a phone
She turned it
anymore.
off.
Yeah, she's like, I don't need it anymore. But, yeah, it's so funny. What she's like, she's going to be real embarrassed when she realizes what I'm reading.
Yes.
While I'm driving.
So while Phoebe's playing chauffeur, it's Juice, it's Phoebe, it's Marla, it's Suze,
Lila.
Nat, and Lila. Lila's recounting this fairy tale proposal that happened outside this castle that was inspired by Cinderella.
Phoebe makes comments about that. She's like, oh, yeah, it is a Disney thing, but it's got, like, a little bit of a
Darker history.
Yeah, and, like, it was, like, made for the mistress of the man or something. I don't remember. But,
Yes.
like, she slowly kind of sees she's very smart and she knows a lot about, like, just everything.
Yes. She has lots of trivia knowledge. She'd be
Yes.
great at trivia night.
Yeah, she would.
So at the wharf, the men are waiting in khakis and polos, and Phoebe is shocked to recognize the hot tub man, Gary. They get out of the car, and Juice starts screaming that her dog died. And Gary's like, oh, guys, it's a virtual pet. Like,
It's a Tamagotchi.
yeah, it's
It's a
basically a
Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi. But it was a gift from her mom that passed away. So Phoebe immediately, like, without thinking, just jumps in. And she's, like, thinking about Harry. She's thinking about her mom because her mom died when she was giving birth to her. Her dad has passed since then. So she's just like, I get it, little girl.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to go on the boat and have a funeral for it.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can't throw the e-waste into the water. And she just like deadpans Marla, and it's like, we will be having a funeral for it. So they get on the boat. Lila, Nat, and Suze are reminiscing about Catholic school and how they made their signature drink, Vacation in a Cup.
Ew.
Cheers. Gary introduces Jim to Phoebe.
Is it called Vacations in a Cup?
Or Vacation in a Cup. Phoebe helps Juice with the funeral, and Gary and Jim say a few kind words about her virtual pet. Lila is clearly irritated, but she doesn't say any shit to Phoebe or anyone. She's just like frumpy and angry over there. While Phoebe is helping her have this funeral, like she's also mourning and like setting free the loss of like the miscarriage and her cat, and like she's having an emotional response. Even Gary's looking at her like,
You okay?
Okay. Like,
Even
we're having
Juice
the
asks her,
feelings.
like, did you know my dog?
Yeah. Yes.
So Phoebe watches Lila and Gary together, searching. She's like, oh, they've got to be in so much love. Like, but she only sees like performative, like side hugs, and like they're really playing up their relationship for the people. Like it's not genuine. So after returning to the hotel, Phoebe is like,
She keeps referring it, like comparing it to her marriage too. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I pretended to, or I made this sacrifice as well when I didn't want to, or like she keeps kind of comparing it to her failed marriage.
they invite Phoebe to come and do the rest of the activities, the wedding activities for the evening. She's like, I'm going to go take a bath. Grateful. She's in the bath and she's like, oh, I'm so happy I have this body. She's reflecting on, because she's been in therapy for years, and like, oh, this man's making sense now. My
Like, all of a
therapist
sudden,
is making sense. She starts masturbating and she's real close to the end, and Lila fucking barges in to her room and starts, she doesn't even say hi. She just starts talking shit about Marla. And she's like, what do you think about Gary? And Phoebe's like, what the fuck? You are
She even tells her, like, I was trying to get myself off. And she's like, you could do that in a bathtub?
Yeah. She's like,
I don't care. I see naked people all the time.
yeah, she's like, I'm naked, and like, she's
Like,
why
I
are you
lived
in
in
my
a dorm
room?
room or
Stop
something.
coming into my room uninvited. Stop knocking. Like, not all of this is about you, Lila. And so then Lila like sits down and she's like, well, my maid of honor and supposedly my best friend just called and said she's not making it here. She's venting about caring for Juice. Gary works late. Phoebe's like, well, if you're gonna stay in here, like, wash my hair for me.
And so then Lila just starts washing
And
her
this is
hair.
when I think I started to feel compassion towards her. Like, she's going through this. Like, I think there's a lot
And
more
she's
to this
alone.
wedding thing.
Yeah.
She's alone in all this. Her friends suck ass, and maybe literally even. I don't know. But
I don't know what that neck pillow do.
like I don't like, her friends are not great friends. They clearly don't really know her, and so now she's attending to this woman who
Going
is
through some
also
shit.
going through some stuff, and it like kind of warmed my heart because it wasn't even a question. She just like grabbed shampoo and started washing her hair,
Yeah.
and cleaning her back, and like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of you now.
Yeah. So she confesses that she's like, I feel like I'm pretending around everyone here. Like, I don't have anyone to be myself around, including Gary. And Phoebe empathizes, explaining she only stopped pretending when she arrived here.
Yeah.
Like, once I decided to live, like, I'm done.
Once I decided to die,
Well,
I started
basically,
to
yeah.
like become myself. And
Yeah.
then when I decided to stay alive,
I'm going to keep being myself.
I'm gonna keep doing this.
So Lila asks Phoebe to be her maid of honor, and she kind of hesitantly agrees.
It's wild.
And immediately feels excited. And she's fulfilling something she's always wanted. Later, Phoebe turns on her phone for the first time since leaving home, and she has just a barrage of messages. Most of them are from Bob, who's her department head chair, who's like, where the fuck are you, Phoebe? Like, no one's in your classes teaching. And some are from Matt. And she vaguely replies to Bob, like, I'm going to need some time, and I need a leave of absence, and just very professional and short. And she ignores Matt, as she
because
should.
I owe my boss potentially something. If I don't know what I'm going to do. I might go back. I don't know. But I owe my boss some sort
Yeah,
of.
I at least need the week.
Yeah.
I need the week, and then I'll
But
be
I
back.
don't owe Matt shit.
No, Matt can go fuck himself.
Seriously. Get out of here.
And then that starts my chumps, where it's Thursday, the bachelorette party, Friday, the blending of the families, chapters 12 through 17.
I'm so sad my drink is gone.
Me too. I wish I had a snack.
Oh, yeah.
I'm right here.
That's a meal, girl.
You a combo.
You a combo. Can I get some fries with that shake?
It's Thursday morning, and Phoebe plans a walk, but ends up following a dog down a rocky cliff to its owner. She sees this dog, and she starts to kind of follow it, and it obviously ends up back at its owner.
There's all these signs like, do not come down this cliff.
Yes.
Don't do this. And the dog goes like, la la la. She's like, if
Yes,
I'm
we're
deciding
going.
to live, this is how I'm living.
So then Matt texts her anxiously during her return. And so then running into Gary, he walks her back to the hotel because she's on her way back and he's kind of out on the breakwater. And then they end up kind of just walking back together.
She like goes fishing with a fisherman or something.
Oh,
and
the
she
guy
catches-
who owns the dog is fishing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, she does. She fishes for a minute and then is
But
like,
her
well, I
dad
guess we're
was a
gonna do this.
fisherman. So she like reels in a catch and he's like, you're good at this. And she was like,
She's doing all this stuff without a care in the world, right? I made this decision to live. I would never get on a boat with a strange man, but I'm
here
here
I
for
am.
it. Well,
Yeah.
let's do it. Sure, why not?
So they're walking back together. They're kind of joking and kind of
Gary,
eases her move a little. Yeah, her and Gary. They talk about Wendy, which is Gary's ex-wife.
his deceased wife.
Yes. So they talk about Wendy.
First
they talk
wife.
about Matt. Yes. Juice and Phoebe's infertility. And they kind of start sharing like their deeper griefs. But Phoebe joins an expensive brunch with the bridal party. And her stomach flips when Gary kisses Lila. Because she kind of like is attracted to him and has a little
Well, she-
crush.
Well,
She
yeah,
already
she
told
told
him
him to
I
let's
wanna-
go fuck.
Yes. And so now she sees him and his future wife together, and it kind of upsets her a little bit. And Lila gives her the maid of honor binder because she's like, but it should be easy for you to be the maid of honor. She put a whole freaking booklet together. All you got to do is follow the schedule.
She's
and
already
follow
planned everything. Here's the book.
And so it's full of tasks like buying compostable dick-themed flatware
so
for the
funny.
bachelorette party.
It was very important to be compostable because we
Yes.
care about the environment.
Yes.
But please make sure it's dick shaped.
And it assigns her to take Juice into town to get shoes because she needs open-toed shoes. And Juice doesn't even know what open-toed shoes are.
She's like, I don't want to wear open-toed
I don't want my
shoes.
shoes and my toes out. They're not
Yes.
for everyone.
She's been
Yes.
wearing these like combat boots the
Yeah.
entire week at the beach. And so Juice resists and Phoebe forces cheerfulness, arranging to meet at noon. She tells Juice, like, just come with me. We're going to go get shoes. I need to get clothes. I need shoes also. So let's just go together.
It'll be fine.
So driving into town, Phoebe reflects on how she and Matt grew apart, each wanting the other to change. When Juice calls Lila a bitch, Phoebe asks why instead of scolding her. And instead of being like
Every
an
other adult.
who
Yeah.
would scold her, she just says, well, why do you think she's a bitch? And Juice kind of warms up to that, like, oh, you're not gonna scold me for this? Like, all right, here, another person just kind of spilling their guts, right? So Juice says Lila was simply born a bitch. And Phoebe jokes about the doctor presenting a newborn bitch to Patricia. It's funny because she's like, congratulations, you had a bitch. And
Congratulations on your new bitch.
Yeah.
And they're just cracking up.
Yes.
It was a really funny part.
was.
it was cute because Juice really opened up a little bit and you could feel the lightness that came out of Juice from it.
Yes.
And you could also see a little bit of the mom that Phoebe would have been if
Yes.
she had been given
She
the
had-
opportunity.
yes.
And so then Juice admits she misses talking about Wendy. Like she says, like, Lila doesn't like talking about her. She doesn't let us talk about her. And my dad has a hard time talking about her. So I feel like nobody can talk about her. And so Phoebe shares that Gary mentioned Wendy that morning and encourages Juice to bring it up with him. She's like, actually, your dad doesn't have a hard time. I actually talked about your mom this morning.
But I think even in that conversation with Gary, he says something about like Lila doesn't like it when we
Yes.
talk
Yeah.
about her because
Yeah.
it's hard for her to understand.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think if I was in that situation and whatever, I'm trying to rebuild a life after my spouse is gone.
Yeah.
The person coming in has to know this was a huge part of my life. They're my children's father. We are going to talk about them. We're still going to celebrate things. Like they need that.
Everything
Yeah.
in this life is going to have some relation to that person. And we can't just
I have a
pretend
child
it
with
didn't
this
exist.
person that
You
passed
need
away,
to
like-
honor that and respect it
Yeah.
if you want to be a part of this family.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
understand. I couldn't understand why Gary would just be like, we just can't
guess
talk
we don't
about
talk
her
about her
anymore.
now.
Yeah.
Because never would I ever. But also, I feel like Lila was young and
Yes.
didn't understand. She was, we continue to go through it. It's like, I know she was having a hard time with all the things, including this past relationship that he had with this very loving woman. And how do I compete with someone who's not here? Right? She was young and trying to figure it out. But even still, I don't know if it's the difference in age, right?
But still, maybe then you're not the right person because
Right.
not only do you have to love me,
I think you start noticing you guys are not the right people for each other.
yeah,
really.
you also have to love my 11-year-old because
Yeah.
she is a part of me.
Yes.
And it's not like I'm divorced and she's going to be here 50% of the time.
Right.
Like she is here 24/7 and you are going to have a hand in raising her.
Yeah. And don't worry, you don't have to compete with her. But
Yeah.
also,
You need to acknowledge that she
Yes.
existed.
yeah.
Phoebe validates Juice's feelings and notes Gary's efforts to be kind to Lila. Phoebe later returns Patricia's clothes to her room and finds her drinking alone. They talk about Patricia's late husband and their families. And so Patricia kind of spills her guts to her about Lila's father and their families.
In that conversation with her mom, she talks about, like, I don't think that, like, she's always been attracted to older men. She's always tried to be something. Like, I don't think that she actually wants this marriage. She's never tried to marry a man before, but I think because of whatever her dad told her on his deathbed, she now feels obligated to marry him. And I just wish she wouldn't.
Yeah, she's never been herself.
Yes.
So then the bachelorette party begins at a spa with a water journey where everyone strips naked for the pools and the hot tubs. Phoebe helps.
Very much reminded me of the Korean spa that I went to and didn't know this was part of the activities.
I couldn't imagine if you guys were like, here's your water journey part of your bachelorette party, Sunny. I'd be like, what do you want me to do?
We're all getting naked together.
I didn't know I liked you guys this much.
Okay, so Phoebe helps Lila fully relax. They leave rejuvenated and return to their rooms to get ready for dinner. So in the lobby, the bridal party has drinks served by Ryan. They head
Ryan.
Ryan.
Ryan. R-Y-U-N.
Yes.
Did you read this book or did you listen to it?
I listened to it and how they talked about it, like Ryan.
So the maid of honor had arranged this like sex woman to come and have a class for the
And when
girls.
she gives her the folder, they're like, sex woman, what's a sex woman? She's like, I don't know. I didn't read it. You're
Yes.
not supposed to tell me.
Yeah.
She's like, well, okay, there's a sex woman zoologist that's coming and I don't know what that means.
Well, even when she calls, she's like, she'll tell me more. And she's like, I have a note here that you're coming to the bachelorette party. And she's like, yes, we're scheduled at this time. Do you have a projector?
Yes.
And she's like,
a projector.
yeah.
I do, in fact, have one.
They don't know what to expect. It's
No.
just like, this sex woman is coming. Let's find out what she's got.
And then she proceeds to show a video of giant pandas mating and advises the couples on how they revive their sex life.
Like,
And
I've helped pandas all across the nation.
She like
Mate.
Freaky.
relates it to these
Now I can
pandas.
help you.
And they're all like, we're not pandas though. Like, how does this relate to
But
us?
some people are like, oh yeah, and they start talking about it, and they're like, well, Lila, how? She's like, I'm not participating.
well, she
Like, we
asked
have a
them-
great sex life.
She asks them a question like, when is the last time you felt extremely sexy? And what
Or
was it
turned
that turned
on.
you on, right? And so they all kind of share a little tidbit about what it is.
Freaking Phoebe's like, last night
Yes.
with Gary in the hot
No,
tub.
she doesn't say with Gary, but she says like last night.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, what was it about that? And so they have a
made
little
you-
Oh
moment.
yeah, and he really saw me.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have a little moment and then they turn it to Lila and Lila's like, our sex life is great. I don't need to talk about this.
Yeah.
And
Why
it
does
shuts
this
it down.
matter?
Yeah,
Yes.
it shuts it down real quick. So then for dinner, they go to the White Horse Tavern in Newport, and the bridesmaids grow tired of Lila's bad attitude. Back at the hotel, they meet for private tarot readings. Marla and Phoebe share a drink and discuss Marla's affair. So they have this tarot reading, and everybody kind of feels connected to the readings. But then when they ask Lila what happened, Lila refuses to talk about it. She's like,
she was wrong.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's stupid. These tarot cards, I don't even know where she gets these information from, but it's clearly not right and kind of avoids the conversation.
But part of this part was like, I guess, a little cathartic for Phoebe because she's talking to Marla and she's like, I need to understand what makes a person have an affair because my husband left me and I don't want to forgive him, but I.
Well, she even asked, like, you couldn't find it in your heart to forgive someone who had an affair? And she's like, well, he didn't even ask.
yeah.
She learns about infidelity, but still she can't forgive Matt because Marla tells her, like, we went to therapy and that's why we're sexting all the time.
Oh, yeah, it
and
comes
it's
out.
leading up to this
Like,
wedding.
they're not allowed to have sex, but they want
Yes.
to have
They're trying to
sex.
create this like sexual tension so that when they see each other, they want to ravage each other's bodies.
Yeah, they're rebuilding the relationship.
Yeah.
Picture the messages that she's read, like,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
want your tight, hot pussy.
Yeah,
Like,
and so now it's all
like-
making sense to Phoebe because
Yes.
she's like, "Oh, those were those
Those are
messages."
those.
That was your
Okay.
husband. Got
Yeah.
it.
So Phoebe's tarot reading predicts a move, a property investment, and the end of her pregnancy journey, and a distant future romance.
I liked her tarot reading.
This is
Yeah.
cool.
I was like, ooh, yeah, that was a good one. Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
Like, get it, Phoebe.
Yeah.
Life is looking great.
Yes.
So after years of feeling stuck, she's relieved to hear about her future. She's like, this sounds awesome.
Especially
I
for
hope
a
all of
person-
this turns out to be true.
Well, especially for a person who decided to give up on her future.
Yes.
Now she gets a chance to think about it and hear what it could potentially be.
Yeah.
And honestly, this bachelor party sounds kind of like a good time.
Yeah.
I will say, this book made me want to go to Rhode Island.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the group ends the night at a nightclub. They all go in and they're like, I think it's Lila who offers to take a shot. And they're like, do we take shots now? Is that what we do? And she's like, come on, like you just got to live a little. So then eventually they all give in and they all take shots. It's late and they're all drunk and they all end up walking back. So Lila throws up in a flower pot. Like as they're walking through the lobby, she's like, oh shit. She's like stops in this flower pot and she vomits. And Phoebe helps her to her room. She ends up in Phoebe's room because Lila loses her key. And so now she like is laying on Phoebe's bed, drunk. Lila confesses her attraction to Jim and doubts marrying Gary. Like she tells
The one
her,
that she complained that hit on everybody, even me. How disgusting. And she's like, I kind of like him.
I think he's so hot.
yeah. But she tells her like, I don't think I want to marry Gary in her drunken stupor.
Yeah.
And Phoebe kind of talks her out of canceling the wedding that night.
She talks about how the tarot card reader said some of this, and I think she was right. She might have been right, but I don't want her to be right.
They're in Phoebe's room, but she's trying to go to sleep, and Lila's like snoring like crazy. So Phoebe finds Lila's key, and she slips into the bridal suite and falls asleep in Lila's bed.
And it's not that great a room. She's like, oh yeah, my room's way better.
Yeah. Gary enters the suite looking for Lila and is surprised to see Phoebe, but he's kind of excited about it. Like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? Also, he's drunk and he admits his reservation about marrying Lila and shares he hasn't been truly happy since Wendy died. And Phoebe imagines him single and admires him. And he says Phoebe is the only one he can talk to, and they share a moment before he leaves. The next morning, Lila's hungover and intends to not cancel the wedding. Like, Phoebe's waiting for her to go, are we going to talk about what happened last night? And Lila just almost dismisses it like it never happened.
Yeah, like what? No.
And-
What is there to talk about? I threw up in a flower pot. I'm wild.
Yeah, it was a crazy bachelorette party. And so she sends Phoebe to take her place in a surfing lesson with Gary and Juice. Juice is telling her, like, we're going to go surfing today. Like, let's go. And
This is
Lila's
the
like,
one thing that Juice wanted to do.
Yes. And Lila's like, I am absolutely
She
not
doesn't
going
even tell
surfing.
Juice that. Juice is like, we're going to go surfing. Let's go. And she's like, yeah. And then they close the door and she's like, you should go and go surf. She's like, I'm not going surfing.
Gary and Phoebe laugh together, struggling into wetsuits. So they get down to the beach and they're trying to put on their wetsuits and they're struggling. They're like, are we wetsuit people? I don't think we're wetsuit people. And they're like, can't get it over their thighs and they're having a hard time trying to fit into them and they're cracking up about it. But they go surfing. Phoebe almost gets up, actually stands up for a small second. Juice is a natural at it and just living her best life. And Gary just is like, not my thing. But after surfing, Phoebe, Gary, and Juice, they lay out on the beach and they lay on the blanket and they take a nap together. And Gary's kind of like touching Phoebe's leg with his leg, and it's kind of an intimate moment.
It's almost like they're
A family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like intimate in the way that it's inappropriate, but
Right.
it
No,
is-
it's just like they're so comfortable with each
Yes.
other, and it's easy for the three of
Yeah.
them to enjoy time with each other.
Yes.
They wake and have lunch at Flo's in Newport, where Phoebe imagines being part of the family because they're having this day together and it feels like they could be a family. So Phoebe skips the blending of the family's reception, drinking at the hotel bar with Jim instead. And Jim invites her to take THC gummies while they write their speeches because he asks her, have you written your maid of honor speech yet? And she's like, no. He's like, I haven't written mine either. Maybe we need some help.
It's like, let's
And-
go back to the room and
Yes.
take some gummies. Yeah.
And she gives him the gummies and she's like, I've never done weed before. And he admits
She calls them weeds or
yeah,
something
well,
like.
it's a joke because
Yeah.
she's like, I've never done weed, so I'm that person who says, I'll take 2 weeds, please. And so he admits he's attracted to Lila before Gary was, and he met her first, and that their relationship began before he could act on it. Like, he was working outside of Lila's art gallery, and they kind of were looking at each other. Lila would go outside 15 times a day, obviously, because she was attracted to Jim, but they never actually talked.
It wasn't until like his last day she said something like, are you ever going to say something to me? Are you ever going
Yeah.
to try and talk to me? And so he planned this whole,
Like,
let's
meetup.
go to the art,
Gary was
the
supposed to be a wingman.
Yes. Gary walked out with Lila.
He actually comments on, like, when you're with Gary, Gary's like the most himself he's ever been. And it's kind of interesting. And then Phoebe reassures him that Lila once felt the same attraction about Jim. And he's like, really? She's like, yeah, actually.
Well, he doesn't like, he's like, did she ever like me? And she's like, I can't say that. And he's like, you're not answering is answering enough.
You didn't
Like,
say that she wasn't attracted to me.
Yeah.
So inspired, Phoebe returns to her room and writes a 5-paragraph speech, her first writing in years, and she's feeling like unstoppable about it. So she searches for teaching jobs and apartments in Newport. She has this revitalization. And so she finds a listing on Craigslist because she says at first she thinks Craigslist is only for murderers.
It is for murderers, right? That's
Yeah.
just what it's around for now.
And she finds a listing for a winter keeper at a Newport mansion and contacts the owner to apply.
So then we jump into mine, which is Saturday, the rehearsal dinner, chapters 18 through 20. Lila assigns Phoebe to accompany Gary to his appointment since he hurt his back, surfing, and can't drive because he's an old man. So Lila doesn't trust Jim to complete the tasks correctly. Before she leaves, Phoebe realizes her wedding speech is entirely inappropriate. She sober-minded looks at the speech and is like, what did I write? I cannot say any of this. And so she decides to improvise her speech at the rehearsal dinner that night. Lila doesn't want any speeches at the wedding, but you can give the speech at the rehearsal dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she's very controlling about
Yes.
this whole charade.
For sure. I mean, it's her wedding, but still.
She is Bridezilla.
Yeah. Phoebe drives Gary's sedan around town and assists with heavy lifting. Seeing Gary in his routine, non-wedding life feels intimate to Phoebe. She begins to guard herself against falling in love with Gary, that she's into it.
Oh, because he's so kind. They stop at his office, and he's so kind to the
Yes.
receptionist and the people that work in his medical office. And she's like, this feels like I need to stop because
Yeah.
I am enjoying what my life could be with him so much.
Yeah, like this just feels easy. Phoebe receives an email reply from Jeffrey, the owner of the Newcomb Mansion. He's very interested in Phoebe working as his winter keeper because of her history with like Victorian literature and stuff like that. And she knows all these things. He's like, oh, good, because I have a Victorian mansion I'd love for you to take care of. And if you know some of the history, it might
And
be
you
better.
appreciate it. You'd be the best.
Yes. So he's like, come take a look at the mansion. Let's talk. So Gary then insists, you're not going to this mansion. with
We're
this
going
strange
now,
man
girl.
That you're talking to from Craigslist.
Like, I need to see this mansion now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, and like you're not going there by yourself with a strange man that you're meeting on Craigslist. Like, no, that's not going to happen. I will go with you. Jeffrey interviews Phoebe as they walk through the massive estate. Gary starts to talk about the future with Phoebe living in town, and Phoebe drives Gary to the barber.
Oh, because he's like, oh, do you think ghosts live here? Call me. I'm going to give you my number.
Yes.
And she's like, what are you going to do with the ghost? And he's like, call me if there's
Call
ghosts.
me if you see ghosts. And then she takes him to go get his haircut. So while waiting, Gary asks Phoebe if she will miss teaching in St. Louis and if she feels like she's pretending to be someone different now. Phoebe answers his questions, but asks why Gary seems like he's pretending to be someone else because of the conversations they've had with like
this
the
is-
past wife and everything.
Yeah.
Why are you pretending like you're happy?
Like she alludes, like,
Yeah.
this is not who you are.
Yeah.
So why?
Gary says he feels pulled to Phoebe and cannot stop thinking about their first conversation.
Like he's mid sentence, like about to say, like, I think you and I,
And then it like,
gets cut off.
Yeah.
Because he gets like called to the chair, but he's like about to say something really
Yes.
impactful that's going to mess up him getting married and really tie him to Phoebe.
yeah, which I don't know if Phoebe knows if she wants to hear it or not, right? Like, it's like, I know as a maid of honor, I can't have this conversation, but also I want to hear you say it.
Yes.
And then he has this physical transformation because he shaves, I think. And Lila even talks about how she doesn't like his beard. So he
Yes.
shaves and he's got this whole physical transformation. And then there's that pause in the conversation. He kind of tries to go back into it, but Phoebe is back into her maid of honor persona. And then Gary attempts to restart that conversation, but Phoebe's like, no, we shouldn't.
There's
be
nothing
discussing
here.
it. There's
We're
nothing more to
done.
discuss.
You finished that.
Yeah, we're done with that. Exactly. Marla's husband, Robert, and her son arrive for the wedding weekend. After the wedding guests return to the Cornwall Inn for a 5-course dinner with a palate cleanser between dishes, but they don't ever get the palate cleanser.
Which
yeah.
drives Lila up a wall.
Yeah, like, I paid for a palate cleanser. Where's my palate cleanser? And they were like, just in the fridge.
Yeah.
Gary's mother, who has dementia, she insists the family pray before each course. Lila worries about the timing of the dinner. She wants all guests to promptly be outside by the sea for an expensive fireworks display at 9 o'clock. She suggests Jim and Phoebe skip their speeches, which upsets Gary.
Yeah. Gary's starting to be real done.
So Jim and Phoebe make light jokes during dinner. At one point, Jim holds Phoebe's hand. Jim stands and clinks his spoon to a champagne flute without Lila's consent. Jim cries as he talks about his close relationship with Gary, the loss of his sister, and Jim confesses his attraction to Lila. He says, like, everything that you're not supposed to do at a wedding. He, like,
lets it all out.
Gary, you are so happy with my sister, and you're not that way with Lila.
And she's a beautiful woman.
Yes.
You should be so sad that you lost her.
Yes.
I know I am.
And Lila, I thought you and I had a thing.
But he kind of ends it to where everyone thinks it's a joke that he's like, I thought she was hot first. Like,
yeah. You were supposed to be my wingman. Yes.
Yeah.
Jim compliments Lila before toasting the bride and groom.
he does the circle back.
He circles back and makes it right.
Yeah.
And then the fireworks begin to launch in the background as Juice steals sips of Jim's red wine. She gets lit.
Yeah, she do.
So Phoebe motions for Lila to join her in the bathroom. Lila immediately rants about Jen. Like, she's just complaining
Can't
about all
believe
things.
he started a speech. I told him they were canceled.
Yeah.
And where are my palate cleansers?
She really wants those palate cleansers.
Yeah, I mean, she spent a lot of money. I feel like you better be reimbursing me for them then.
Yes.
After Lila's ranting about Jim and his stupid speech, she's like, he's in love with you, Lila. He's been in love with you. And then after an argument, Phoebe ultimately decides that Lila isn't her friend. They return to find Gary dismiss the wedding guests outside to view the fireworks. Lila feels enraged that the guests left before they could have the palate cleanser to hear Phoebe's toast.
I know, but Gary's like, you wanted everyone down there by 9. I thought I was being helpful by sending everyone.
Yeah, you paid for all these expensive fireworks. All the adults then notice that Juice is drunk. Marla claims she will take care of Juice, dismissing Gary and Lila to the fireworks.
Because
However,
Juice just like walks up and vomits.
Yes. Well, so yeah, however, when Juice vomits, Marla insists Phoebe step in as the sight and smell will make her sick. She's like, I can't do this.
I can't. Phoebe, you need to take her. You need to take her.
So Juice is crying as Phoebe escorts her and she misses Wendy terribly. Like, she's having a drunken, sad moment.
Sad.
Yeah.
She's
She wants her mom.
depressed. Yes. I can't imagine.
Yeah. So Phoebe consoles Juice, explaining that she grew up without a mother and turned out okay. Juice drifts to sleep as Phoebe strokes her back, thinking about how good of a mother she would have been. It's sad because she is. She obviously has a connection with Juice too, and she's good at it. Gary finds Phoebe and Juice and explains that he cannot watch fireworks without knowing if Juice is okay, which good dad.
Good dad,
Thank you.
yeah.
Just as Gary starts to talk about his wedding as a mistake, Phoebe hears a knock on the door. She goes to the door, she opens the door, and it's Matt standing outside of Phoebe's door. He introduces himself as Phoebe's husband to Gary, which
No.
you walked in and found a man in my hotel room and then decided to introduce yourself as my husband?
And we've been divorced for over a year.
It's been like 2 years since they've been divorced.
Yes.
Wild. And they divorced via Zoom because it was COVID.
And you left me, asshole.
Yes.
Anyways.
Yeah. For Mia
Yeah.
and her baby.
So Gary takes Juice. He's like, I'll take her back to my room. And he knows about Matt, but obviously he's kind of taken aback.
And he's
We
like,
were about
oh,
to
your
have a
husband. I thought you
conversation."
were divorced.
Yes. Matt describes the pain of not knowing if she was okay because, again, it's about him. He tracked her down with their shared accounts. Phoebe points out Matt's hypocrisy and selfishness as she hadn't been okay for years. Matt wants to reconcile, but Phoebe wants to track down Gary and finish their conversation. He's like, I thought that maybe it was a mistake and then you went missing and now I knew it was a mistake and I love you and I shouldn't have done what I done and I was a horrible person and blah, blah, blah. Says all the things that she was hoping he would say, but 2 years too late.
Yeah.
And you already
And
made your
actually,
decisions.
if he would have come back before Harry had died and she had this whole experience, it would have been fine. She probably would have forgiven him.
Yeah. It's what she wanted before she came to. And the whole time they're doing this, they're having this conversation, she's thinking about Gary.
Yeah.
I want to go finish the conversation with Gary. I don't want to have this conversation with you anymore, Matt. You snooze, you lose, buddy. I felt some type of way. Like, whoa, get over yourself.
As soon as he saw Gary and introduced as his husband, I was like, you mother...
Yeah, get out of here.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
You have no right to come back
No.
and claim this woman.
No. So she tries to explain to Matt that their marriage was troubled long before Matt had an affair. And she's realizing it.
Yeah.
Matt convinces Phoebe to have a drink with him. And Phoebe observes changes and unfamiliar aspects of Matt, especially when he tries to kiss her. An action Mia influenced. Like, it's like the way that he is presenting himself as stuff that he potentially learned with another woman. And
She can't get over that. At first, she was like, "Oh, maybe this could be my
this
fantasy
is what I wanted
come to
Oh,
life."
yeah.
And then
Which
it's like,
we don't talk about, but she does talk about how, like, when she was in therapy, talking about how she wants to watch them.
yeah, and he's like, "That's not healthy for you."
Phoebe remembers her fantasies about Matt as a stranger, and she considers having sex with someone so familiar yet so different. Like, maybe this is my jam, actually. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
like,
kind of liked it at first.
We
or the
both
thought of it.
changed.
Right.
So, and we're not the same people. So maybe this is going to be great for us. And then we jump into Sunday, the wedding, and Monday, the wedding brunch, chapters 21 to 24. So the next morning, Phoebe wakes up with Matt in her bed, preparing for the wedding. Phoebe gives her stylist, she like wakes up and she's like, well, that happened. It's like insinuated that some things happened last night.
Because he's naked.
So Phoebe's gives her stylist the liberty to do whatever she wants with Phoebe's hair. And the stylist's like, have you done a side bang? And she's like, no, do it.
Yeah.
Like, I can cut your hair
Oh, she's
on
like,
the day of the wedding?
Nobody ever lets me do
Yeah.
this.
So she's like, yeah, I'm all for it. Let's try a side bang. And it happens. And she's like, oh my God, who am I?
Kinda
Phoebe with
like
a
it.
side bang.
Yeah.
So Jim arrives with the palate cleansers on spoons. He comes with the tray of palate cleansers. And he's like, I'm so sorry, Lila, for the night before.
I found these in the fridge.
And like his peace offering. And she's like, what are you doing, Jim? Phoebe's been waiting for a chance to get Lila alone. And she finally does as they're getting ready. And Lila asks Phoebe's opinion about her like wedding hairstyle, and Phoebe's just like, it's perfect. You are the perfect bride. Because
She
she's
goes
like
full
realizing,
issue.
yeah,
And she's like, I'm a maid of honor. This is my job.
Yeah,
Is to
that's-
make you feel like this is the best decision you've ever done. So I'm
Yeah.
going to stick to it.
if you're going through with this, I will play my part too. And so the women both agree that nothing is going to ruin the perfect day. However, when they summon the car for the breakers, so they had an issue with the previous vintage car. Like Jim runs up and it was like, somebody fucked the car.
Oh, yeah.
Because someone made love to the tailpipe of the car.
Like, what do you mean? How did it like
Actually.
fucked it up? And then he's like, no, like someone actually stuck their dick into the exhaust.
It was a vintage card. It turned him on, okay?
Yeah, but
And he
he's
got
also
freaky.
like, why would you tell Lila that? Because she has a whole meltdown, needs a new car, but they
I
don't
can't
have.
drive a fucked car to my wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
So when they get the new car to drive to the breakers, Lila loses it because it's a new model Mercedes. It's
Yeah.
not the vintage car that she wanted. She's like, I'm not getting into that car. I don't love Gary. Like, this is the ultimate sign of the signs.
I knew this wedding couldn't be perfect. Like, she spent this whole week looking for a way out and a reason why
And
this
this
shouldn't
was-
be the thing. The wrong car is what.
That's what finally did it. Not anything else. But she's like, yeah, I don't love Gary. Gary doesn't love me. And she's like, and
Not
she
how
doesn't
she wants to be loved.
No,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
want, like, he doesn't love her the way she imagined it. So she's like, I'm done. Phoebe's like, okay. She talks to Pauline. She's like, Pauline's going to take you back to your room. You're going to draw a bath. Pauline, while you're in the bath relaxing, Pauline's going to book you. Like, where do you want to go? She's like, I want to go to Canada. And she's like, okay.
Pauline's like, we have a hotel in Canada. I can arrange that.
Yeah. And she's like, great. Pauline's going to book you the hotel in Canada, and I am going to go to the wedding and let everyone know what's happening. So Phoebe goes. Phoebe will tell Gary and the guests about the canceled wedding. Phoebe admires Newport's beauty. She's driving to the breakers in the car by herself. She's uncomfortable when she gets there and makes eye contact with Gary, but she's walking down the aisle making solid eye contact with this man. And because she doesn't think it's fair to just walk in and be like, wedding's canceled, everyone.
Right.
So she walks down the aisle and she whispers to Gary, it's done, Delilah's decision. And then she turns around and announces it to the guests that the event is off.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Yeah.
There is not going to be a wedding today.
Yeah.
Please go back to the hotel and enjoy the rest of the amenities. She apologizes on Lila's behalf and answers any questions as people file out to return to the hotel. Gary disappears. He, like, as she's like being the hostess with the mostess, Gary is gone.
Yeah,
Which
she
is
like
so
turns around.
funny
She's like,
because
oh,
like
Gary's out.
of all the people to cancel this wedding, it's this stranger that's gonna do it. Like literally nobody knows who this is.
But
and
literally everyone thinks they do because Lila lied to everyone. Gary is the only one that knows that she's not part of this. Matt rides with Phoebe to the Cornwall Inn, and Phoebe informs Matt of her decision to remain. Oh, because Matt goes to be a guest at the wedding. And she's like, I'm going to be moving back to Newport. I'm going to take medical leave for my teaching position. I'm selling the house in St. Louis. I'm going to be a winter keeper in this mansion, and I'm going to write. Like, this is going to be the best for me. So the guests enjoy their last day using
I'm making decisions for myself, and I'm not thinking about you at all. So.
Yeah, because you didn't think about me, and our marriage is done.
Which that's another thing too that we didn't even touch on in the summary, that he like goes to the house to find her and finds Harry dead in the basement with a blanket. He's like, did you know that he's dead? Like, I buried him. And so part of her decision is, I'm going to go back to the house and I'm going to pack it up and I'm going to say goodbye to Harry.
Yeah.
And like,
So the guests use the Cornwall amenities for their last day instead of attending the wedding reception. Phoebe considers checking on Gary, but decides to give him space, and she spends her final night enjoying her room, appreciating its beauty and the comforting touches. She enjoys complimentary macarons and reads Jane Eyre. She talks about how she's always wanted to read Jane Eyre and she's never finished it, and now she's going to do it. And she had taken the book from the bookshelf in the lobby.
which was like the next morning, already all the books were turned back around.
Yes. So although it feels wrong eating the wedding brunch without Lila and Gary, this is the next morning, Phoebe, Marla, and Juice enjoy the prepared meal because they're like, it's paid for, we got to eat it. They share stories about Gary, and so Phoebe texts Gary like in an attempt to get him to come to the brunch, but he doesn't reply. He says something like, oh, the stories your family's telling me about you right now. Yeah. And Jim and Phoebe share phone numbers that in the hopes that they'll remain friends. It's nothing romantic. It's just like, we enjoyed each other's company. Like, let's be friends.
He's like, remind me never to get high with you, though.
Yeah. So Gary finally returns Phoebe's text, and he tells her where he is. And Phoebe,
He's like way later.
he's in the hot
day.
tub.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm
She
over in the
finds
hot
out that
tub.
he's in the hot tub later.
And
Yeah.
so been there, like, she's like gone off and done some things, and is
He's been
getting
in there
her
for a
life-
few hours.
Yeah, he's been there for
She's
a
like,
while.
have you been here all day?
And so Phoebe joins him. Juice and Marla are in the hot tub, overheated because they've been in there for a few hours with them, like once they found him there. Juice and Marla go to the pool to cool off, and Gary describes saying goodbye to Lila. He is so happy with Lila calling off the wedding, something Gary wanted to do himself but couldn't bring himself to do it. Gary spent his wedding night visiting.
Because he wasn't that guy.
He wasn't.
I've committed to this. I'm going to see it through. And
Right. So Gary spent his wedding night. So when he disappeared the night before, he went to his wife's grave and he fell asleep in the cemetery on her grave. So Phoebe explains that, like, hey, I got the job as the winter keeper. I'm going to be around, dude. Like, she feels scared about the unknowns in her future, but she's mostly excited to have regained the ability to choose her path forward. At the end of the week, though, it's now going to be a new wedding week for a different group of people. So a new bride appears on the pool deck, eyeing Gary and Phoebe as strange guests. Like, now they're the strangers here, and they're the new wedding people. They dress, they finalize their checkouts, and they exit the Cornwall Inn. Phoebe turns to look at the hotel one last time, remembering how she viewed the Cornwall Inn on her arrival. She tips the valet and she walks off into her new life. And that's where we end the wedding, people.
yay! All right, well, let's get into these reviews then.
Let's talk about our ratings.
Okay, so we rate all of our books on a 3-shot system. 1 shot is I'm not coming back for more. 2 shots is it's good enough for another, but not worth the hangover. And 3 shots, it got me up.
So I raw dogged this book. I raw dogged it. Well, I read a little bit about it. I thought it was a comedy romance when I picked it. So I thought it was going to
but
kind of, but not.
It was
I
pretty
thought it was
dark
going to be
humor.
very Emily Henry-esque, which is why I picked it. It was not that. When I got into the first chapter and she's like, I've come here to die, I was like, what did I pick? What did I pick?
no, I knew you called me. You're like, so I started the book. It's a little bit morbid. I'm like, yeah, it goes on like that for a little while, actually.
I know. I was torn between a 2 and a 3, but I've sat with this book for like a week and a half now. I think I'm going to give it a 3. I really liked how it showed she was just so broken and sad, but she fought her way out of it.
Yeah.
And I really liked that part of the book. It was a really good book. So I'm giving it a 3.
I will go next because I too was torn between a 2 and a 3. I did really enjoy the book. I didn't even hate that it was a little bit morbid. I didn't know anything about it. I knew it was super popular on social media.
I didn't hate it at the end. At first, I think I was just shocked.
Yeah.
Like, what did I have us read?
Yes, yeah, right. But it was good. It was witty and funny, and it ended up not really being a love story at all.
No,
Actually,
I
because there
loved
is no-
that.
There is no. I mean, it's not that there's not a happy ending, but it's not a stereotypically
Yes. Yes.
romance novel happy ending.
I like that she found herself.
Because I was teetering, I think I'm going to land on a 2. But it's a high 2.
Yeah.
If I could give decimals,
But you can't.
it would be a higher 2.
I think I'm going to give this a 3 because it was entertaining. I really liked it. I think it was a different kind of story. We haven't read anything similar to this. I expected it to be a love story and was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't.
Yeah.
And
But
I
it
enjoyed
was.
it.
But it was like finding herself more than
Yeah, she
falling
learned
in
to
with
love.
her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
she
think that's
found
why
how
I
to be
liked it.
happy
Yeah.
around everyone. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. Power to the woman.
Yeah. Get it, girl. Get it, girl.
All right. So then that's a wrap on this episode of Literature on the Rocks. We survived Wedding People, a story that asked existential crisis or destination wedding and decided why not both?
Yeah.
The prompts are live now, so answer them before next week's book club. We'll be unpacking all of it, and don't forget to subscribe because we're here for you every Wednesday.
And if this episode reminded you that even in your lowest moments, connection can find you, go ahead and rate and review the podcast. It helps other readers discover stories that sit with the hard stuff and still leave room for hope.
The Wedding People remind us that even in our darkest moments, connection can quietly pull us back towards life. If this story resonated with you, stay connected with us. Follow @LitOnTheRocks on Instagram and TikTok, and visit literatureontherocks.com.
Until next time, may your rock bottoms turn into plot twists and your cocktails hit like a vacation. Cheers!
Toodaloo.
Bye.